literally.
Oh yeah, I agree. And just but you just that translates over to a bunch of stuff you want to save for that. And those new Gucci sunglasses, like how you say you want to flex in this event or in general or whatever. Like it works straight up.
It does, but you can reinforce that why by saying, "Hey, I'm not saving for a pair of Gucci sunglasses or a flashy car. I'm saving for a house so that I can have stability and freedom and security for me and my family." All of a sudden, that why is reinforced. Then maybe that Gucci bag doesn't look so good.
Right.
Then maybe that flashy car, maybe we don't need to get the Cadillac. Maybe we can get the Yukon. You know what I'm saying? The GMC version. What have you.
Sure.
Because you realize, hey, I'm going to strengthen my discipline because my why has been reinforced and is more powerful. Now, that being said, sometimes the dream can be too far away. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dream can be too far away. Like, dude, I won't be able to get a house because when you start saving for a house, when you're 20 years old, you might have 6 years of saving before you can get a house. 6 years. And 6 years when you're like, well, it is the week. So if it's today and I'm 20 years old and I'm like, in 6 years, I've done my calculations. I make $32,000 a year. I'm going to save whatever, 10%. It's going to take me this much time. It's going to take me 6 years to save up my down payment for my $280,000 house. So in 6 years, I'm going to be able to buy my house that I want. And then tonight, someone's like, yo, you want to go to the club? Let's throw some money down.
Hell yeah.
And out come the hundos. Right?
Yep.
So you lose track of that long-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's good, as you said, to have some intermediate goals, some more short-term goals about how much money I'm trying to save this month. Mm-hmm. And then what you do is you say, listen, as long as I save whatever that number is, if I'm gonna save $1,000 this month, and as long as I do that, I'm gonna save $900, $800, $700. As long as I do that, I'm gonna have $180. I'm gonna blow on a Friday night. That's going to be my reward for saving. So what does that mean? It means I'm not going to buy the Starbucks coffee that costs $8 every day for this month. It means I'm not going to waste my money on this, that. It means I'm going to cancel my subscription to whatever freaking streaming service is coming in at $18 a month. You're going to make moves so that you can get a short-term reward, but you're still going to have the discipline maintained for your long-term reward. You're going to focus on the thing right in front of you and do it so that you can eventually accomplish your long-term goal. And that is the discipline. And if you want some more discipline, go to thedefreset.com. If you need fuel, go to jockofuel.com. Discipline equals freedom, episode 3. With Echo Charles and me, Jocko Willink. We're doing the DEF reset, the discipline equals freedom reset. This is a New Year's evolution. So January 1st is when this thing starts. And people have asked me in the past with two stories. Number one, my wife used to always say, what's your New Year's resolution going to be? And I have said the same thing, still say it to her to this day. I always say, I'm going to get better at jiu-jitsu and surf more. And this is coming like back in the day. I used to train like every spare moment.
Yeah.
And she's at home with kids. They're screaming and diapers. And I'm like, I'm going to train. So she would maybe not be the happiest wife at that moment in time.
Right.
And of course, the secondary thing was surf more, right? Get better jiu-jitsu and surf more. Mm-hmm. Two things. Neither one of them had anything to do with my poor wife.
No.
So the fact of the matter is always, I was always joking when I said that. Kind of, because I always was trying to get better at jiu-jitsu and surf more. But also, people like would ask me that now, past few years, what are you going to do? What's your New Year's resolution? I'm like, what? No, you just live. Just do the same thing. I'm not waiting. If I got something I got to change, I'm going to do it today. That's what I'm doing. Well, a few years ago, we did this DEF reset. I think the first one we actually did internal at Echelon Front. It was just some of the team was, hey, we're going to do this thing. We're going to do these challenges. Yeah. And I was kind of like, yeah, well, of course you're doing that. That's what I do all the time. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And then maybe the following year, they kind of announced it to people. And a bunch of people did it. And we started to get like really good feedback from people that did this def reset, this discipline equals freedom reset. Got a bunch of good feedback. Got a bunch of people saying like, oh yeah, I lost this weight. I gained this weight, trying to get stronger. They put on pounds, or they lost pounds, or they got better at guitar, or they got promoted at work. Like, just people squared themselves away. They got better. And so I said to myself, well, that's kind of awesome. When you see results from people and their lives being changed and the trajectory of their life being changed, to me, that's awesome. And then I said to myself, well, when you are going to go on a mission, do you just go on the mission without any planning? No. You're going to come up with a plan. You're going to set the conditions for victory. That's what you're going to do. So it's the same thing here. Look, if you got to make a change, start doing it now. Well, hold on a second. If you're gonna do a true reset, a def reset, you got to do some planning. You got to do some preparation, and so that's what this is about. So there's some protocols that we're gonna do every day during def reset. Number one, we're gonna wake up. We're gonna wake up early. We're gonna wake up early to give us enough time to do exercise first thing in the morning. That's one of two of the things that we're doing. Waking up early, and we're gonna exercise. Before we go to bed, we're writing down what it is we need to do tomorrow. Like the main things you got to get done, we're writing them down. And then when we wake up in the morning, we get done with our exercise, we're going to prioritize next week. We're going to do the things we said we were going to do. And this is something that I've said for a long time. Imagine if you wrote down what you were supposed to do tomorrow, tonight, and then you woke up and you did it. And then imagine if you did that for a week, and then imagine if you did that for a month. And then imagine if you did that for a year or 3 years or 5 years. Your whole...
Called the create dialog. Let's add a condition to check. Let's make our dialog object first. I'll make a new object and name this obj dialog.
Your whole life is different. So that's what we're doing. We're writing down what we need to do, and when we wake up the next day early, we exercise, then we do what we're supposed to do. Prioritize and execute. We're going to have clean fuel. That's what we're going to do. During def reset, 100% clean fuel. That means no junk food. That means no Cheetos. That means no Doritos. That means hell no donuts. When's the last time you had a donut?
Oh, wow.
I'll add the create event and make some variables. First, we have the messages array. It's empty by default, and this will be assigned later depending on the dialog. We have a variable that stores which message you're on from the array. And by default, it's -1, meaning that the dialog hasn't started yet, because remember, an array starts from 0. We have current char. This is how many characters from the string have been drawn. That's because we want a typewriter effect in our game.
Wait, didn't you kill a box of donuts? You
almost.
did. You told me this the other day by your car. You killed a box of donuts. What the hell happened, bro? What happened? You're laughing. How many donuts did you have?
I think I told you what happened.
Tell me what went down. How'd it go down?
I got 8, and it was one of those things. So this within the last year, this happened 3 times. But I didn't eat them all 12.
Okay, well, just tell me what went down.
It was just one of those times. Those interstitial.
Wait, first of all, what are you doing buying donuts?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a bad move out of the gate. Okay, but go on. What happened? First of all, you bought donuts.
Yeah.
Kind of a loser move.
Well, yeah, big time. And
so why'd you do it?
Because it was like one of these interstitial. I'm going to give you the facts right now. I'm not saying justifications. Yep. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm giving you the facts. It was my state of mind was the family was all out of town. I did these are the conditions that allowed this interstitial state. of weakness.
Would you feel guilty if you brought those donuts into your house with your family there?
Yeah.
So is that why the condition made a difference?
Yeah.
The width of the GUI layer and also the height of the GUI layer so that we can place the dialog box according to the GUI area, no matter what the actual resolution is. Now we're going to add the step event where the actual logic of the dialog box will take place. Let's add a condition to string, the input key, struct. But let's check if we are at the end of the array by checking if current. We're done with the logic, so now we'll move on to drawing the dialog box. We're going to make a function that creates this dialog object and passes in the messages. For that, let's go into the scripts folder and make our first script. I'll name this default, so I'll pass -1. And then we have the arguments for the maximum width of the text. For that, I'll use the box width and subtract the drawing X twice, so it acts as a margin for the left and right side of the box. With this, our dialog system is complete, so now we just have to find a way to use it. We're going to make a function that creates this dialog object and passes in the messages. For that, let's go into the scripts folder and make our
Yeah, exactly right. So where, like Mike, I don't like the idea that like junk food is this like centerpiece of celebration. Like I don't like that idea, even though I've accepted it as part of our culture, but I don't like that idea. And anytime I bring it up, I get in trouble for it. Because, the kids, kids, they take stuff kind of personal,
Right.
Like if it's like, if they're eating like some.
increase the drawing Y by 40. So we are drawing the message 40 pixels below the name. I'll draw the text, but this time I'll use drawTextExt. This function lets you define a maximum width for your text. So if the string goes past that width, it will wrap to that's the string that we want to draw, not the complete message. Then we have the line separation, which I want to keep at default. So I'll pass -1. And then we have the arguments for the maximum width of the text. For that, I'll use the box width and subtract the drawing X twice, so it acts as a margin for the left and right side of the box. With this, our dialog system is complete, so now we just have to find a way to use it. We're going to make a function that creates this dialog object and passes in the messages. For that, let's go into the scripts folder and make our first script. I'll name this dialog. The main purpose of a script is to define global
ice cream or something at a party and I'm like, oh, that's junk. It's like they feel like you're saying what they're doing and who they are is junk. So I get it. Hey man, it's a system. I get it.
That's definitely we got to pay attention to what we're doing.
Yes,
there.
we do.
Okay.
Now at the same time, nobody's
Meanwhile,
perfect.
the brother's going out and buying a dozen donuts for himself.
Yes, sir.
Because the family's out of town.
You are
so
correct.
this is more of a condition was you could get away with it.
Get away with it in this sense where, look, everybody's a person. No one's perfect, right? Like that in that whole spirit. But if I'm going to be imperfect, I'm going to try my best not to
go hard.
Yeah, that's the second part. But I'm going to do my best not to do it in front of the kids. To
global functions that any object can call and create global variables that any object can read or write to. We're first going to define a function called createDialog, which takes one parameter, that is the array of messages to use. In the function, we'll first check if objDialog already exists, and if it does, we'll end the function by using return. If it doesn't exist, we can create it, so I'll make an instance of that object. I've stored its ID in a variable. Through that variable, I'm going to set the messages array of the dialog instance from the argument that was passed in. Then I'll set its current message variable to 0 so we can start the dialog from the first message in the array. All we have to do now is to test this function. So for that, I'll go into the obj player object and open the step event. Here, I'll add a temporary condition to check if the space key was pressed. If so, I'm going to call the createDialog function, open the step event. first message in the array. All we have to do now is to test this function. So for that, I'll go into the obj player object and open the step event. Here I'll add a temporary condition to check